Hi everyone, today we're diving into the world of Keynesian economics, a theory that changed how governments think about managing economies. It's named after John Maynard Keynes, one of the most influential economists of the 20th century. Ready to find out how his ideas shaped modern economics? Let's get started. Keynes was a British economist born in 1883, and he lived through two world wars and the Great Depression. His experiences during these turbulent times led him to develop ideas that challenged traditional economic thinking. Keynes believed that during economic crises, governments shouldn't just sit back and wait for markets to fix themselves. Instead, they should step in, spend money, and stimulate demand to keep the economy afloat. This idea became the foundation of what we now call Keynesian economics. So what is Keynesian economics? At its heart is the belief that government spending and tax policies can help stabilize economies during downturns. Keynes argued that in times of recession, businesses cut back on investment, people lose jobs, and demand plummets. This creates a vicious cycle that can deepen the crisis. To break this cycle, Keynes proposed that governments should increase public spending on things like infrastructure, healthcare, or education, even if it means running a deficit. Why? Because putting money into people's pockets boosts demand, which in turn encourages businesses to produce more and hire more workers. Keynes's ideas were revolutionary when he published them in his 1936 book, The General Theory of Employment, Interest, and Money. Before Keynes, many economists believed in the idea of laissez-faire, which means letting the market regulate itself. But Keynes said, no, the government has a role to play. And he backed this up with clear arguments and examples. The Great Depression of the 1930s was a perfect storm for Keynesian economics to take center stage. In the U.S., Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal embodied Keynesian principles. The government launched massive public works projects, creating jobs and rebuilding infrastructure. This approach helped to stabilize the economy and laid the foundation for modern economic policies. Here's a simple example to illustrate Keynes' idea of government spending. Imagine the government decides to invest $10 billion in building new highways. This doesn't just benefit construction companies. Workers on the project now have money to spend on groceries, clothes, and more. The grocery store owner uses that money to pay their employees and so on. This is called the multiplier effect. $1 of government spending creates much more economic activity. Keynes argued that this ripple effect is key to pulling economies out of recessions. Keynesian economics rests on six main ideas. 1. Government intervention matters. Public policies can influence both private and public sectors. 2. Short-term focus. Sometimes saving the economy now is more important than long-term goals. 3. Demand drives growth. Stimulating demand can lead to a healthier economy. 4. Unemployment is a systemic issue. It's not just individuals. Crises require coordinated responses. 5. Stabilization policies are crucial. Governments should address economic booms and busts. 6. Inflation and unemployment. Both should be managed simultaneously for long-term stability. Of course, not everyone agrees with Keynes. Critics argue that government intervention can lead to inefficiencies or increased national debt. In the 1970s, for example, the rise of monetarism challenged Keynesian ideas, focusing instead on controlling the money supply to fight inflation. However, Keynesian economics made a comeback during the 2008 global financial crisis, as governments worldwide used massive stimulus packages to revive their economies. Even today, Keynes's ideas remain incredibly relevant. Whether it's debates about government spending, tax cuts, or stimulus checks, his principles are at the heart of economic policy discussions. As economist Paul Krugman once said, "We are all Keynesians now." So the next time you hear about government spending or stimulus plans, remember John Maynard Keynes, the man who showed us how strategic intervention can save economies. What do you think about Keynesian economics? Does it still work today? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.